Just before that, I would like to add about this young guy talking about why he's doing dancehall, etc. I think that all black people these days, even no matter where we live, in Africa, in Caribbean, in USA, no matter, we are still in this kind of mixed culture and not really sitting a strong share and be able to say, oh, this is what I am. So in this duality, we need to, sometimes we are Christian, sometimes we are our own belief with orishas and things like that. Sometimes we like to have long hairs, and sometimes we would like to have kinky hairs as well. So we have this kind of, people know how to play with, and they play well with that. But there is certain people that cause them in their everyday life real personality and real issue, in your everyday life. And that's what worries me most, is that you don't know how to stand in this society to say that the best way to be, or the best way to dance is to do classical dance, is to be, as a professional dancer, for example, always being told that to be a dancer, to earn money, you need to go and learn classical ballet technique, contemporary, while it's so out of the way that even white people moving, and you go in any party out there, nobody dances like ballet dancer. So it's just like they want us to fit with their old-fashioned culture, and they ask us to just forget about our old-fashioned culture. And these guys wants to belong to his culture, but at the same time, it have a voice maybe in his head saying, you need to be Christian, you need to believe on those things, and as well, you need to say in a kind of way that what you're doing is not good. It's not good to behave like that, but I go to church. Why is not good? According to what cultural rules. So for me, that's really important that we thinking about that and just asking ourselves, do I follow my own rules? What is it true for myself and for the people who are just like me, or do I follow the rules of someone else, some rules that they put just to stop me to love what I am?
So what do you say?
Could you see, like, in the movements that you saw, in the actual dances that you saw in the dance hall and the dance in Brazil, could you actually identify them as coming from Africa, or could you make a connection between what the kind of moves they were doing there and traditional dances in Africa? So a bit more.
Yeah. So actually, in both, you have a strong relation with traditional dance. So, for example, just for the formation, I was really impressed the first time that I saw a band of black Jamaican dancer performing, and they were like in a line like this, and they were performing their dance, and they were moving all the same way. And this is an African formation. In South Africa, the Zulu nation, they all perform their traditional dance in a line. All the warriors are in line, and they perform their dance. In Congo, in Central Africa, we perform as well our traditional dance in a line. So all the men are in a line, and they do their move, and that's quite really similar with Jamaican dance. For example, in Central Africa, where I can't really say Congo because it's even bigger than Congo, we've got this population dance a lot with the hips. So we've got hips roll, we're doing a lot of move, and that's from our traditional culture. There's nothing bad doing that. That's European people when they arrive. The first was the Portuguese people when they arrived, and they just saw us dancing. Obviously, it's really hot. I don't know if you've ever been in Amazonia or anywhere near the equator. You can't really stay with all the stuff in you. So obviously, we have no issue about being naked. We have no problem with to see people's body. we respect bodies, we respect natures, we don't see any offense.
It's not vulgar.
Yeah, it's not vulgar. So obviously they arrived with their mentality. They saw us half naked, dancing with our hips, and say, "Oh my God, those people, they are evil." So that's where come from, for me, the main issue, that they teach us, you need to be Christian. Because Christians say that your body, all the devil side of yourself is in your body. So if you show your body, you are a devil. And that we should deliver ourselves from this thought. Yes?
Yeah, I've been to a few dances in my time. Just a few. And I've seen how the sisters dance, shaking up their thing and all that kind of stuff. We saw it on the first film, How They Change. So I brought my daughter, when she was about 8, 9 years old, to an African dance class. And then they started doing all the hip movements and all the shaking. I thought, that looks kind of familiar to what they're doing. And I thought, Mama, you can't be doing that. You can't be teaching my daughter that. And I thought to myself, it's context.
Exactly.
It's context. Because at the end of the day, the dance is to attract the man. That's what the dance is for. It's to show the man that she can move her curves and whatever. It's an attraction dance. They learn from young and they do it when they get older. The men, when they do their attraction dance, it's about their agility. They can jump in the air or go kill a lion or something. But it's about a man shows his power and a woman shows her agility. So that's been done since day dot. But its context is how it's been done today, is what I think.
And actually what you put in your mind. So most of the time I say to people, because a lot of people say, oh, look the way you dress. You're not supposed to wear a short skirt, you're not supposed to wear this, people are going to think that you are. I say, wait a minute, I'm not going to change the way I look or the way I decide to wear. People should wash their brain first. I'm not going to be responsible to what people think. I'm responsible to what I'm doing and what I'm thinking. So I'm not going to change my way of behaving to allow people to respect me. It should be the contrary. You should still behave and believe that what you do is right, and you are not responsible to what other people think.
That's hard to do. No, that's a good one. That's hard to do. But just to go back on what the brother was saying, when you say that with all the shaking, it is definitely African. I wanted to ask you about the circle, because when you go in the club, what you could see in the movie, there was a circle in which the ladies were dancing. So where do you think that comes from? Because I see that in Boka, I practice Boka, and it is done in a circle, and all the things that you see, the circle is the community. You are in there, and you get the people coming along, and it is an energy that you transmit. So where did that come from? And I have another question actually for you. What do you think of daggering? Because as far as I can understand, the shaking and thing, because as he was saying, like the dirty wine, I did train to do the dirty wine for at least 3 weeks to try to get it properly. I did try to do it.
Well, demonstration.
I'm not that good, but my concern, I was really concerned when I did see the daggering, which is definitely violent when you have like 2 people holding the lady's leg and someone's jumping. I was like, oops, I'm not doing that. So where do we put the limit between, okay, this is good, this is what we do? Because I'm not dissing any Afro-Caribbean production. I think that we are the first one to encourage and be creative, but what do you think about that? It looks like it's going higher and higher.
I think the daggering is just going over the top. It's about right now they're trying to be the nastiest and the dirtiest possible, because the women are going there and they want the attention they want a man. They'll go and do the nastiest thing they can do to get a man, and the men are just being downright nasty. It's just dry sex, quite frankly, and it's just over the top. It's gone beyond the dance to the point of assault. It's assault.
I wasn't here for the first film, unfortunately, and it sounds like something I really should have seen. Unfortunately, I'm just thinking, a lot of us are past a certain age, and I'm assuming they were young in there. So is it just an age thing, perhaps? The sort of conservative.
Yeah, maybe I'm just getting old, but
an age thing, perhaps. Maybe we don't need to get it. I don't know.
Perhaps, but it is. I think that when you reach the point when men actually break their penises. I think that when they didn't study you that when the daggering thing came out, they had like an increase of I don't know. Well, it's really, and I think that the same thing is happening in Guadeloupe with the phenomenon of bouillon. Bouillon is usually from Dominica, and then they took it to Guadeloupe, they change it, they transform it in Creole, and then they say the most stupid things, like they're not even rapping, it's not even rhyming, it's not beautiful, they're just talking about, like, I'm not going to curse, but it's just like one curse word, one after the other, and this is it, and everyone's in it, and then all the young people like me, my like 30-something, of like, what is wrong with them? But I'm wondering if we have to go to that level, because that is really worrying, because it's when people do not make the difference between entertainment and real life, like you were saying, and what you put in your mind and how you see yourself and you define what is beautiful, what is good or not. Is there, where do we draw a line?
I think most of us understand that the first movie was quite distasteful. Yeah. And also there's the fact that he explained his background. I don't subscribe to the concept of class, but he wouldn't come very far up. Do you know what I mean? So I suppose, it's not horrible, but you know what I mean? So, you know, I suppose when we're talking about dance, that isn't one that we would give, maybe you're all aware of it, but you wouldn't give a lot of promotion to, or a lot of encouragement to. Or you would, you know, you would begin to ask questions of the people thinking that this is entertainment. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I suppose for those of us who are able to put it in context, we can. And then obviously the other thing we can do is help other people put it in context. Like, really, if you've got a choice, that isn't the type of dance you really should be described to. You want to respect yourself, and you want to associate with decent people. So, okay, we're watching it, but we know that it's, you know.
So what is decent then? Because to me, when he spoke, he sounded very much like an intelligent person.
He's
really about doing his money. Like it's clear that this guy has an agenda. He has children, he has a wife, and he's going to go for his money. So he does all those things and he doesn't care. Like you say, he doesn't care about if people take him for a dunce or whatever. But I think that he's very intelligent. And even though he comes from mud, I can actually see, like, he's a hustler. He's trying to do his thing. But when you say decent, what do you mean? Like,
well, you've got to have your own moral code, don't you? He's got his,
yeah.
But I don't think a lot of people would subscribe to it given the choice. And because he's had his type of background, like, you know, he described his background, and he cannot change himself, and maybe he doesn't want to, but he's trying to kind of make a living from what he knows, or maybe a kind of you know, the Jamaican culture. He came from Antigua, so he knows a lot about the Jamaican culture. So, I mean, you can sort of, I can sort of respect the fact that, okay, he knows that he's calling it entertainment, he's promoting his parties, he's getting paid, he's got his kids to look after. I respect that fact, you know, that he calls it entertainment. But then, if he sat down with him and said, no, listen, don't you think that, to a certain extent, you're degrading the women that you're playing around with? Do you know what I mean? You've got to ask him some questions. Maybe when he grows up, I don't know how old he was, 24, 25, he might think differently. If one of his kids is a girl, I don't know. But, anyway.
No, what I'm saying, what it is, it's the environment that he lives in. It's the environment that shapes everything that we all do. We can have the best ideas in the world, but it's the environment you live in that shapes what you do, what you say, and what you think. And that's the environment he's in. Maybe he can't see any other way of making any money. And as far as they're concerned, the men are concerned, that the women that go there are not degraded because they're paying to go in them, to go to those places. They're volunteering to dress like that. They're volunteering to get slammed on and jumped on and beaten up. Whatever. There's something